Greetings, my name is Josh Spence. I am Australia's 29th Major League player, founder of BuiltBaseball.com, member of Baseball Jobs Overseas, and current pitching coach for the Adelaide Giants of the Australian Baseball League. Today I wanted to share with you the 7 stats I like to keep to help young pitchers gain feedback from their performance and then work into their next pitching appearance. So, the 7 stats I like to keep, 4 are more so individual, 3 are more so from a team standpoint, and I like to track them to see if pitchers can execute these at a rate of 65% or greater, essentially 2 out of 3 times. Now, the first stat is quite universal from a pitching standpoint. You've definitely heard it before if you've been around the game. It's first pitch strikes. So the idea is the quicker we can get the hitter to 2 strikes, the quicker the hitter is going to have to change their game plan to kind of a more defensive approach. And the more times we can get that hitter in that defensive approach, the likelihood for us to have success during that at-bat increases. And so again, the more often we can do that, the chances are we're going to put our team in a pretty successful position to win that game. First pitch strikes. The second stat I like to keep is, can we get the hitter out or on base in 4 pitches or less? So again, we're attacking the strike zone, trying to get the hitter to 2 strikes as quickly as possible. If the hitter happens to get on base, we need to be able to control the run game. That's part of pitching. So don't be afraid to, hey, I got to nibble around the zone and get every hitter out. No, I'm attacking the strike zone at a high rate. And if the hitter happens to get on base, I can control it and execute pitches in the strike zone. It's a part of pitching. The third stat I like to keep is, can we execute 2 out of the first 3 pitches for strikes? So in essence, how often can we win that 1-1 count? Now, the 1-1 count is a huge swing count, not from a literal sense, but from a sense of the game plan of the hitter and the spectrum that it's on. So a 2-1 count as opposed to a 1-2 count, the mentality of the hitter changes. So again, how quick can we get to 2 strikes? And it starts with first pitch strikes and winning the 1-1 count if it happens to get into that moment. The fourth stat I like to keep is win the even counts. So the 1-1 and the 2-2 counts, how often are we competing in the strike zone? And if we can compete in the strike zone at a high rate in those counts, more often success is going to lie in our favor. Now, the next 3 stats I keep from not only an individual standpoint, but more so from a team standpoint. Again, I feel like pitching in a game is a lot like a relay race. You know, how successful can that pitcher pass the baton to the reliever, and then the next reliever, and so forth. So the first stat I'd like to discuss from that standpoint is first pitch strikes with 2 outs. So the more often we do this, the quicker the inning generally is, and the quicker the inning we have, more time we're in the dugout, means we're hitting well. So first pitch strikes with 2 outs is, yes, the foundation from a team standpoint, something I like to keep. The second one is leadoff outs. So how often are we getting that leadoff hitter out? The majority of runs score because the leadoff hitter gets on base. So we want to nip that in the bud as quick as we can, and again, attack that leadoff hitter aggressively. No freebies there. The third stat I like to keep, and final from a team standpoint, is shutdown inning conversions. So a shutdown inning is when we score as a team, and then the next half inning we go throw a 0. And the more often we can do that, the more often we're going to pull away from the other team, create a sizable lead, and that's when we really start having some fun out there. So those 7 stats are the foundation of how I like to evaluate pitches, the feedback I like to give pitches, because really it's not about strikeouts, it's not about how many hits we give up, it's again, how aggressively can we compete in the strike zone, and then outside of practice we're working on our pitchability, which then will increase those stats on the back of our baseball card. So it starts with the process, and if we execute the process right, results tend to happen. If you would like a copy of this chart, I'm going to put it in a PDF in this newsletter. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach me on social media at BuiltBaseball, or you can email me at builtbaseball@hotmail.com. I really appreciate your time today, and happy pitching going forward. Thank you.